जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय राधा
माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
यमुना तीर वनचारी
यमुना तीर
वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी
यमुना तीर वनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
स्थापितं येन भूतले
स्थापितं येन भूतले
स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं
स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं
ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं।
ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं।
नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय
नमो विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामिन् इति नामिने।
स्वामिन् इति नामिने।
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेषशून्यवादी
निर्विशेषशून्यवादी
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे।
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
हरे राम हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
राम राम हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to the most auspicious session of Santvani today again. This is a very auspicious day indeed, because today is Ekadashi. So today is Ekadashi. Knowingly or unknowingly, we ended up on an Ekadashi. So it is very nice to remember Krishna and his devotees on Ekadashi. So we will try to absorb ourselves as much as we can, right? So there is a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam in which Suta Goswami actually says to the rishis in the Dantakaranya forest that one Krishna Katha is unlimited, just like Krishna. The glories of the devotees of Krishna and the glories of Krishna himself is like a vast sky, right? And everyone has their own limitations. Like all the birds cannot conquer the sky, right? Every bird has its own limitation. So similarly, every person who is attempting to speak about Krishna and his devotees and to hear about Krishna and his devotees, they have their own limitations. So one who speaks about Krishna and one who hears about Krishna, especially one who speaks about Krishna, they speak according to their capabilities, according to their realization and according to what they have understood, correct, from the scriptures. Why is it very important? Because Krishna Katha is not something that can be intellectually assimilated. It is something which is revealed to us. Just like the scriptures that we see today, those are the scriptures which were revealed to us, right? So many a times I have seen, like I speak at many places, so people have a tendency of falling asleep when Krishna Katha is going on. People have a tendency of falling asleep. We cannot help it, right? We can somehow or the other try to be conscious, but still people fall asleep. Now that is a very unfortunate situation. You know why? Because the scripture says that if one is falling asleep when they are hearing the glories of Krishna and his devotees, it is their sinful reactions that is standing over their head, which is not allowing them to be conscious and hear attentively. Indeed, you all are very fortunate because you are getting this opportunity to hear Krishna. I am merely a parrot who is, just speaking. It is a lip service. Whatever I have heard from the Parampara, whatever I have heard from my Guru, I am speaking to you. So you don't have to be afraid. I am not speaking anything out of my realization. It is from the scriptures and it is from the devotees of the Lord as it is. So today also I am attempting to speak about a very great devotee of Krishna. Before that, I need to give you some background. So we are speaking the background now. Many people are aware about the incarnations of Krishna, like Sri Ramachandra, Narsingadev, Sri Krishna himself and all. But many people are not aware about a very great incarnation of Krishna who is considered to be the most merciful incarnation of Krishna, who came in the Kali Yuga. His name is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you take the history books, his mention comes in the Bhakti movement and everything. But he is considered to be a great saint there. He is not considered to be Krishna himself, right? And why is it so? It's because the Vedas describe Vishnu or Krishna as Tri-Yugi. He only comes in 3 yugas, like that the Vedas say. But if you read the Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? Krishna says that I come in every yuga. Right? Sambhavami yuge yuge. In every yuga I come. Like that Krishna says, even in the Bhagavatam. Now, how is it reconciled? The Vedas itself says, like the Upanishads say, that the avatar that he takes in Kali is actually a Channa avatar. Channa means it's a covered incarnation, where the mass populace will never understand that he is the Supreme Lord himself. Right? Then what is the authority? The Vedic scriptures only say that how he will be like. Right? In the Bhagavatam, you see, there is a mention of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pasanga Pasha. Like in the Kali Yuga, Krishna will take an avatar, but what will he do? He will chant the holy names of Krishna himself. Krishna Varnam. He will do Varnan of Krishna. Tvisha Akrishnam. But his skin color won't be dark. Krishna also means dark in Sanskrit. Tvisha Akrishnam. It won't be dark. It will be golden. And he will come along with his associates to spread the Sankirtan movement. Right? So why does Krishna appear in every yuga? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyugdhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. So whenever there is a decline in dharma, now what is a dharma? What do you mean by dharma? If you take the Westerners, they have a tendency of saying that dharma means religion. Right? When we speak about religion, we who are followers of Sanatana, we had this tendency of saying that dharma means varna ashrama dharma. One's occupational duty is also dharma. Right? Whatever he has to do. If he is a Kshatriya, he has to fight. If he is a Brahmana, he has to teach. Right? If he is a Vaishya, he has to do business and support the government. If he is a Shudra, he has to do services like a salaried employment he has to do. Even today we are following that. Right? So whenever there is a decline in dharma and adharmic practices increase, the Supreme Lord comes for what? Paritranaya sadhunam. To help his devotees. To save his devotees. Vinashayacha dushkritam, and to destroy those who are miscreants. And dharma samsthapanartha, and again reinstate dharma. For this purpose Krishna comes. Sambhavami yuga yuga. In every yuga it happens. Now when we say dharma, dharma has one more meaning. Right? The dharma of the body is called Swadharma. And the dharma of the soul is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means one which is eternal. So the body is not eternal. So the body's dharma is not Sanatana Dharma. Right? Nowadays there is a trend going on. Everybody is like, your Sanatani is this and that. Associating with some political parties and saying that. But that is not what the scriptures intend to say. Sanatana Dharma is that dharma which is relating to the soul. If you are unable to distinguish between your body and the soul, you are never a Sanatani. It is impossible to follow Sanatana Dharma. What are you doing for the soul? That is important. So, for the spirit soul to attain liberation, in every yuga, there is a specific way of attaining it. Right? Something which is relevant for the Satyuga is not relevant for Treta. It's not relevant for Kali. Because the influence of time is different. Right? So in Satyuga, the duration of life was very long. Because of which, people could endure and do tapasya for many, many millions of years. Right? When you see these scriptures, there is Hiranyakashipu who is doing for millions of years, he is doing tapasya. See Narayana Rishi. All these people are doing millions of years of tapasya. Sometimes people get bewildered. What is this? Vishwamitra did 1,000 years of tapasya, 1,000 Divya Yugas, then he fell down, then again he did 1,000. Why is he not dying? Some people think like that. It is because the Yuga is different and the Yuga Dharma is different. So to attain God, in every Yuga, there is a specific way. From which, in Kali, the way to attain Krishna is through Sankirtan. Right? So all the scriptures say this, all the saints say the same thing. We discussed about Mirabai, about Kururama, about Pundanam, about Surdas. All these people had one thing in common, that they chanted the holy names of Krishna. Right? Why are they chanting incessantly the holy name of Krishna? Because that is the dharma of Kali. Kali kale namarupe Krishna avatar. In Kali, Krishna does his avatar through his name. Right? In the material platform, when we are calling out someone by their name, the name is different from that person. Right? Somebody might be named Dhanapal, but he might be poverty stricken. Right? Somebody might be named Sundar, but he might not be so Sundar. Somebody like me might be named Vishnu, but I am not Vishnu. Why? Because Vishnu means somebody who has created something and entered into his own creation. I have neither created something, neither entered into anything. So how can I be Vishnu? Right? So the name and the person who is having the name are different in material platform. But in spiritual platform, everything is absolute. Nothing is relative to each other. Everything is absolute. Because Krishna is the absolute truth. His name, his form, his pastimes, his dealings, everything is the same. Everything is spiritual. So Golokera Premadhan Harinam Sankirtan. This Harinam Sankirtan is coming from Krishna's abode itself. Right? And who is bringing this? Krishna himself as a Channa avatar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu's teachings are actually summarized in 8 verses. He has given us 8 verses, which is called Shikshashtakam. Right? So the first verse of Shikshashtakam itself says the effect and impact of Harinam Sankirtan on someone. That is Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamaha Dhavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. It is said that Cheto Darpana Marjanam, your mind will be purified when you chant the holy names. And this material world where you are living, this is actually like a forest fire. Everyone is suffering from threefold miseries of life. Sometimes it is because of our own deeds. Sometimes it is because of some other jiva. They hurt us sometimes. Like for example, somebody is suffering from dengue, or somebody is suffering from some other disease. It might be from a mosquito. It is some other jiva. Correct? So sometimes it is because of ourselves. Sometimes it's because of some other jivas. Sometimes it is because of daiva. It is because of the nature. Like tsunami is coming or earthquake is there. All these things are happening. Everybody is suffering in this world. Nobody is really happy in this world. Everybody is either pretending to be happy or lying to themselves that they are happy. But happiness is, like my Shiksha Guru once told me, that he was reading from the Bhagavatam and it was said that in this material world there are 2 miseries and in between some happiness is there, like that. So he thought that it goes the other way around also, right? If there is like 2 miseries are there and in between there is some happiness, we can also say, and it's a series, no? So we can also say that there are 2 happiness and between there is some misery. It is a more optimistic way of saying. But he was telling that when that realization came to him, like I also thought the same way when I read for the first time, but then after a point of time I realized, oh no, this world is actually crafted in such a way that the happiness that is given to you is majority of the time absence of suffering. You may notice this. If you are not noticing it now, you will notice it sometime later, but everybody notices this, that if there is no suffering, we feel that it is happiness, right? Actually, it is not happiness, right? Similarly, majority of the times we are given happiness to some degree so that we become distracted and we continue to enjoy in this world. For example, birth is such a great misery, right? An embryo, it is given consciousness when it is 3 to 4 months old, and it is suffering inside the womb. Imagine you are being kept in a small space where you are ulta fulta, and then you rotate also in between, and all those complications are there. You are given food through some pipe that is attached to your stomach, and sometimes, if the food is very spicy, you will feel very bad on your skin because your skin has just developed. All these things are happening, right? In a very nasty condition you are for 5 months, 6 months or whatever, right? And it is said in the Bhagavatam that many times these children in the womb, they start praying to Krishna that somehow or the other get me outside. I promise you that once I get outside, I will do your bhajan and come back. I will not leave you. But that child is born into the lap of Maya and he forgets Krishna again. The point is, you see, it is said that the only time when a child is crying and the mother is happy is when the child is born. But the mother is not realizing that why the child is crying. The child is crying because he is suffering. Birth is a great source of suffering. I cannot even imagine being born again. See, getting into the womb, something. But this samsara continues. Death is such a source of suffering that every day we are running away from death. Uncertainties are a great source of suffering. Mental pressures, anxiety, and all these things. It is all suffering in this world. If you count happiness, I am not sure how many happiness you can count. In fact, I should reframe the question. How many happiness that you can count which is not backed by a suffering? How many happiness you have endured in your life which was pure happiness, which was never backed by suffering? For doing anything good in this life, you have to suffer. You have to endure. You have to sit and study for 16-18 hours a day to become an IAS officer. So becoming IAS officer might be a happiness, but for that you have to endure so much suffering you have to go through. Correct? Now people are making all these web series and all on life of CA students, on life of this thing. Why? Because there is masala. No, masala is what? Suffering is masala. Right? So to get rid of this suffering, what you have to do? Chant the holy names. Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudhi Vardhanam. It increases the bliss day by day. An ocean of bliss in which you will feel an ocean of bliss inside you when you are chanting the holy names. Day by day it will come. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. That Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, all glories to it. So this is how Shikshashtakam starts. Right? So it is a very big purport. Actually, many things I have skipped. But the point is, what was the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to establish the glories of Sankirtan, so that the fallen souls of this age of Kali can go back to Godhead. And he started this movement of Sankirtan. Now, once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 24 years old when he took sannyas. He shifted to Jagannath Puri. He stayed in Jagannath Puri for a while. Because he is a sannyasi, he was supposed to travel. So he wanted to travel and preach. So he cannot stay at one place and establish the entire movement. So he decided to travel. So when he was traveling, his first trip was to South India. He wanted to go to South India. In South India, he visited many places. Wherever he went, because of his beauty and because of, his effulgence, because of the way he was so humble, so meek, everybody was attracted to him. And at once, they took the holy names of Krishna. In fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says that who is a first class devotee? A first class devotee is that person looking at whom, by a mere glance of whom, you are motivated to chant the holy names of Krishna. That is a first class devotee. So I am not sure if you have met such devotees, but I was fortunate enough to meet such devotees. By a mere glance of them, you feel empowered to chant the holy names of Krishna. Right? So Mahaprabhu was the embodiment of being a pure devotee of Krishna. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told that Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, become my devotee, Manmana Bhavad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. All these things, instructions he gave, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. But what was the practical, practically he has not shown yet. So Krishna becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and demonstrate how to become a devotee. Then Mahaprabhu begins his South Indian trip. So now, when he was on a tour to South India, he comes across a big temple in Tamil Nadu. You know about Sri Rangaswamy temple? Ranganath he is called there. Sri Rangam temple. So it is a very magnificent temple in South India, which was the hub of Sri Vaishnavas. So Sri Vaishnavas, they are traditionally the sampradaya which is starting from Lakshmi Devi herself. So in that sampradaya, a great acharya was, later became a great guru, spiritual master. His name is Ramanujacharya. It's quite famous, right? So Shripad Ramanujacharya had his headquarters in Sri Rangam, right? The Sri Rangam temple, and you see Varadaraj. Then there is temples like Tirupati and all these temples. These are actually temples of Sri Vaishnavas, right? So Sri Rangam is one of them. And in Sri Rangam there were many, many great devotees of Lord Vishnu. So Mahaprabhu reached Sri Rangam. Now when he reached Sri Rangam, so Mahaprabhu had a very nice way of, whenever he saw the deity, he would come into ecstasy because he is seeing Krishna. And he starts dancing and singing. With his sweet voice, he would sing and dance, and everybody would get attracted. Who is this person? So golden and effulgent, and he is dancing and smiling and singing. So it is very attractive. So all the Brahmanas and sadhus of Sri Rangam, they were attracted by these features of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they thought that who is this person? Now there was a priest in Sri Ranganath temple. His name was Venkata Bhatta. So Sri Venkata Bhatta, he came and asked Mahaprabhu if he could come to his home to have prasadam. Right? So this was a tradition that the sannyasis, they were roaming around because they don't have a home, they don't cook and all. No? So they eat from the house of Brahmanas mostly. Right? Mostly, every time they eat from Brahmanas only. Or else they beg from some other house and they eat. So Mahaprabhu, he was very attracted to Mahaprabhu, and Sri Venkata Bhatta came, approached him and told him that, you please come to my home to take prasadam today. Mahaprabhu kindly agreed. He came to his home. They had very nice prasadam. So there, when he reached the home, Mahaprabhu, he was entering the home. Venkata Bhatta immediately came and he washed the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and took the water and sprinkled it over all the family members' head. Among the family members was a little boy. His name was Gopal. So he was the son of Venkata Bhatta. Right? So he is the character of today's, he is the main hero of today's discussion. Gopal. So Gopal was 7 years old at that point. Right? This is happening in 1510 or 1511 AD, that time. So Gopal was 7 years old at that point. And when this Charanamrit of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched his body and he drank it, he incessantly started crying tears of love. Right? There is a reason for this, we will discuss that later. But this is what happened. And Venkata Bhatta and everybody was so pleased by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a custom in India that whenever we find sadhus, we take dust from their feet. Right? We wash their feet with our hands. So it is a gesture. Because it is said that the dust from the lotus feet of a sadhu can make any place into a tirtha. Right? It is very potent. It is not an exaggeration. It is the truth. So Mahaprabhu was embodying it. Mahaprabhu was showing it like that. So he had nice prasadam. So Venkata Bhatta made a proposal. He told that Mahaprabhu, see, now Chaturmasya is beginning. Chaturmasya means the 4 months in which sannyasis usually don't travel. Sannyasis are those people who travel across the world. They keep walking. But in 4 months, they don't travel. Nowadays, they don't usually look into it because nowadays facilities are more. But before, they would stay at one place during the Chaturmasya because it is a rainy season. So it is not very safe to travel outside. So they usually stay at one place. Right? So Venkata Bhatta made a proposal that Mahaprabhu, now the 4 months of Chaturmasya is beginning, you please stay back at our home. Right? If you wish to do so, can you please stay back? And Mahaprabhu kindly agreed. Now, over the years, now Gopala, he was given the chance, and he was given the duty of actually assisting Mahaprabhu in everything. Whatever Mahaprabhu wants, he does menial services. Like sometimes he massages his feet, sometimes he would, get some water for Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu asked for anything, he would get that. All those things. But his affection for Mahaprabhu was increasing day by day. And Mahaprabhu's affection was already there for Gopal. Now, Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhatta, they had a very friendly relation. Over the period, they developed a very friendly relation. They would speak like friends. Like that. Venkata Bhatta was a great scholar in Vedanta. Because they are, usually South Indians from Ranganath side, they are very scholarly. Even today they are like that. So he was undoubtedly a great scholar. He had a brother also. His name was Prabodhananda Saraswati, and he was one of the greatest scholars that India has ever seen. So Venkata Bhatta was also like that. So Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhatta would discuss. So Venkata Bhatta would love to hear about Krishna from Mahaprabhu. Right? And this is one of the main things that we must learn here. Whenever we are meeting a sadhu, the most important thing is to learn about Krishna from them, to hear about Krishna from them. Because, like we started today, they are speaking out of their realization. Right? It is a heart-to-heart conversation. Once they speak, Krishna is instilled in your heart. Yasya Shravana Matrena Hari Chittam Samashray. Just by hearing Krishna Katha, Krishna enters into your heart. Vichakshanayat charanopasadhanat Sangam Yudasyo Bhayatontaratmanah Vidantihi Brahma Gatim Gataklamash Tasmai Subhadra Shravase Namo Namah. So Shukdev Goswami, he glorifies Krishna like this. Vichakshana yat charanopasadanat sangam yudasyo bhayatontaratmana vidantihi brahmagatim gataklamash tasmai subhadra shravase namo namah. Like who are you Krishna? Vichakshana yat charanopasadanat. You are that person who is being worshipped by those people who are vichakshana. They have, got that higher taste. They have left aside the world. Sangam Vidasyo Bhayatontaratmana. And by doing that, what does happen? They lose all the attachments of this world. Sangam Vidasyo Bhayatontaratmana. They have no bhaya. Vidantihi Brahmagatim Gataklama. And they are actually going towards Brahmagatim. They are going towards Vaikuntha. Gataklamash. Without any impediments, they move. Tasmai Subhadra Shravase Namo Namah. That personality who is Subhadra Shravase Namo Namah. Like that's what Shukdev Goswami says. And in fact, Shukdev Goswami in one of the places in Bhagavatam also says that what is Krishna Katha? Krishna Katha is that nectar which actually pulls you out of the modes of material nature, which is like a whirlpool. Gunormi Chakram, like that he says. This world is a chakram, a whirlpool of guna, of the 3 modes. And everybody is stuck there. Right? We are drowning inside it. And Krishna Katha, what does Krishna Katha do? It just lifts you out of it. It just lifts you out of it. This is the power of Krishna Katha. This is the potency. When you have heard from a sadhu. Right? But at the same time, we must not hear from non-Vaishnavas. That is also very important. Sanatana Goswami, he says that if somebody is hearing from a Vaishnava, a non-Vaishnava, who is very expert at speaking Harikatha, but he is not self-realized, he does not have faith, he is just speaking to entertain others. He has learned Harikatha to entertain, to earn a revenue, earn money out of it. If you hear from such a person, even though Putam Harikatha Amritam, this Harikatha is Amritam, it is nectar, it is Putam, it is very, it is pure, but it becomes like a milk which is tasted by a serpent.
Oh, poisonous.
Yeah, it is milk, but it becomes poisonous. Right? So you must not hear from Vaishnavas also. Sometimes there are speakers who are, very, very eloquent. They are very nice speakers. So सुन के ऐसा लगेगा कि ओ आज ही मैं पहुंच जाऊंगा वैकुंठ. लेकिन they are doing it to earn money. They are doing it for entertainment purpose. There is no transformation of heart there. Right? It is material. It is not a spiritual sound vibration. But when you are hearing from a sadhu, if you are hearing from a self-realized person, when you are hearing from a person who is following the instructions of his guru, who is following the instructions of the parampara, you are actually getting their consciousness, a glimpse of their consciousness within you. Right? So Mahaprabhu would discuss Harikatha, and Gopala, he was a small boy, he would also listen to Mahaprabhu. One fine day, Mahaprabhu, jokingly he striked a very nice conversation with Venkata Bhatta. Right? Be very alert to this. You might get bewildered like anything if you hear this. But still, I want to put this. That's why I am saying. So, Sri Vaishnavas, like any others, they consider that Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His consort is Lakshmi. And all the other incarnations, they are avatar. Right? Like Krishna, you see that Krishna is taking birth. Rama is taking birth. Nrsimhadev is appearing from a pillar. And all these things are happening. But have you ever heard Narayana was born like this? No. So they have this notion that Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everybody is an avatar of Narayana. And so on. And so is Krishna. Like that. And which is not completely false. Because there is no difference between Narayana and Krishna. That is for sure. Right? They are one and the same. But thinking that Krishna is having a birth, that is not correct. Why? Because Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Janma karma cha me divyam. Right? My birth, appearance and pastimes and all these things are divyam. That is not material. So we cannot make a distinction actually that Narayana is supreme, Krishna is subordinate, Rama is subordinate, like that. Right? So once Mahaprabhu was sitting and jokingly Mahaprabhu said that Venkata Bhatta, your Lakshmi Devi, she is the most chaste woman in the entire creation. And Venkata Bhatta was very happy. He said that, oh yes, Lakshmi Devi is the most chaste because she stays in the chest of Vishnu in Vaikuntha. Like the Srivatsa Chinna, there she stays always. So she is a very chaste personality. She never leaves her husband. She is like that. So Venkata Bhatta was very happy. Yes, Lakshmi Devi is like that. But then Mahaprabhu asked him, okay, then tell me why she was doing tapasya to meet Krishna in Brindavan. She was ready to leave Vaikuntha and come to Vrindavan, and she was not allowed. Then she was doing tapasya, right? So Venkata Bhatta is a Vedic scholar. He has learnt all the scriptures. He knows, and he knows for a fact that this is true. This incident had happened once. So now Venkata Bhatta had to defend. So he told that, see, actually Narayana and Krishna are one and the same. So if they are one and the same, what is wrong if Lakshmi is going to Krishna? He is Narayana only. Correct? There is nothing wrong. It is not unchaste. Right? So Mahaprabhu said that, yeah, indeed, they both are same. But why did she go then? If they are the same, she should have stayed back in Vaikuntha only, serving Narayana. Why did she come to Krishna? And Narayana Bhatta says that, oh well, that is because Krishna's pastimes are sweet. Krishna's pastimes are more attractive. It has more nectar than that of the pastimes which is happening in Vaikuntha. And Mahaprabhu was very, very happy with this answer. Then Mahaprabhu struck the second question. Okay, Lakshmi Devi is Shakti Tattva. Krishna is non-different from Narayana. So Lakshmi Devi is chaste when she is coming to Krishna to meet him. Then why wasn't she allowed to meet him? That is the question. Right? So it is said that if you go to Brindavan even today, in Belvan, there is a place where it is known that it is said that Lakshmi Devi is still performing austerities in Vrindavan because she was not allowed to get inside the Rasa Mandal. So as that, okay, if Narayana is the Supreme Lord and Lakshmi Devi is his chaste consort and Krishna is not different from Narayana, so it is not wrong that she came to Krishna, but why wasn't she allowed to get into Rasa Mandal? And for this, Venkata Bhatta had no answers. Because this is where logic ends. Right? And realization begins. And that is where Venkata Bhatta actually told Mahaprabhu that, my dear Mahaprabhu, you are Krishna himself. You only tell me. I don't know all these intricacies. And that is where Mahaprabhu tells him that actually Krishna is Rasaraj and Krishna's dealings in Vrindavan are the sweetest. It is not for everyone. Right? In Vaikuntha, Narayana is very majestic and Narayana is full of Aishwarya. Everybody in Vaikuntha bows down to Narayana because he is the supreme majestic Lord. Right? Everybody is surrendered unto Narayana. But in Vrindavan, the case is really different. Because sometimes in Vrindavan, Krishna's mother would take a stick and run behind him to beat him up. And he would cry incessantly. So she is, out of karuna, she throws away the stick and she binds him so that he does not do anything wrong. Right? Gopya dadetvai krita gasidam atavad yate dashashru kalilanjana sambramaksha vaktram niniya bhayabhavanaya sthitasya samam vimoha yatibir apiyat bhiveti. Kunti Devi says that Krishna Gopya dadetvai krita gasidam atavad. That day, it was a Diwali day on which I came to Vrindavan and I saw that the Gopi named Yashoda, she was running behind you. Gopya dadetvai krita gasidam atavad. And what did she do? She caught you and she bound you on a wooden motor. Gopya dadetvai krita gasidam atavad yate dasha. And what was your dasha? What was your condition? Ashru kalilanjana sambhamaksham. Your eyes, which is anointed by mascara, it was actually wet because of the tears which were coming out from your eyes. Kalilanjana sambhamaksham. Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya. And how were you standing? With bhaya. You had bhaya bhavana. Right? You are afraid of your mother. Bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya. Sama vimohayati birapiyat viviti. Now what kind of a person are you? You are that personality whom the bhaya, the entire, bhaya of this world, if they become a person, if it is personified, he will tremble in front of you because you are the Supreme Lord. And you are trembling in front of your mother. Now this is illusioning me, this is bewildering me. Like that Kunti Devi says. This is how Vrindavan pastimes are. It is very sweet. At the same time, it is bewildering for people from Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, Narayana is not afraid of anyone. In Vaikuntha, nobody can take a stick and charge on Narayana, because he is the Supreme Lord there. But here, Krishna is chased by Yashoda Maya. Sometimes Krishna would be playing with his friends and they would have this bet that it is a wrestling match. Somebody who wins the wrestling match, he would ride on the other person. And Krishna would be fighting against Sridham and Madhumangala and all. And he would fail. He will fail to defeat them. He is conquered by their love. And after that, Krishna would carry them on his shoulder. And he would run throughout Vrindavan, so that every resident of Vrindavan can see that who has defeated Krishna today. This doesn't happen in Vaikuntha. Right? So, Vrindavan is a very special place where Krishna is in the most sweetest form. Right? Where Krishna actually covers his Bhagavatta with his Yogamaya in Vrindavan. Because the sweetness of love of the Brajvasis have conquered him so much that he does not want to showcase his Bhagavatta in front of them. Because he is afraid that would diminish their love. So he doesn't want to do that. One day, Yashoda Maya heard that Krishna has ate dirt. We all know that. He ate mud from the courtyard. Balram and his friends, they came and complained to Yashoda Maya. So Yashoda Maya was very afraid, and let my Lala, he was a small child. So she was very afraid. So she came out and she caught hold of Krishna and asked him, "Did you eat dirt?" Like that. Now in Vaikuntha, Narayana never eats dirt. Right? So here Krishna ate dirt, first of all. Then she asked Krishna, "Did you eat dirt?" And Krishna said no. In Vaikuntha, Narayana is the absolute truth. In Vrindavan, the absolute truth lies. Because he is afraid of his mother. So he told her, no, I have not ate that. He said that these people are your party only, no? This Balaram, your friends, they are only telling us that you have ate dirt. Now Balaram also, why did he complain? In every notorious activities, actually his friends and all, they were together only. Balramji was a little sushil since childhood. He was a nice boy. He would tell Krishna that Krishna, all this stealing and all, it is not very good. नहीं करना चाहिए. Krishna says that खुद के घर से खाने में क्या मजा है? तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा मजा आ जाओ. And Balram would go with him. But this time Balram also complained. And the reason was, the Acharyas say that the reason was not because Balram actually was very much thinking that कि Krishna को कुछ हो जाएगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. Because actually Krishna would call all of his friends and Balram for all the things that he does. This time he went alone and ate. That's why they complained. कि हमको बुलाया नहीं ये करने के लिए, जो भी है. So they complained. So they went to Yashoda, and Yashoda Maya was very furious, and she came and said that these are your people, no? Swajanam. These people are telling me that you have ate dirt, so they must not be lying. Correct? So Krishna also said that कि ये ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये लोग मेरे लोग हैं, ऐसा कुछ समझो मत. ये तो एक तो नाम का मेरा भाई है, ये हमेशा मुझे चिढ़ाता है ना? ये बस ऐसा, मेरा बस चले तो मैं शादी में भी ना बुलाऊँ इसको अपना, कि ऐसा कि आप भी मत बुलाओ इससे, मेरे शादी में इनसे दूर रखो, मेरे शादी के जो डिटेल्स है, ऐसे सब बोलते थे भगवान बचपन में. Because Balram would always tease Krishna in front of others, saying that Yashoda Maya is fair, Nanda Baba is fair, I am also fair, then how are you dark? है ना? Which means you are not his son. You know you were taken from Mathura market, we had bought you. Like that he would say to Krishna. And Krishna was very, because it would hurt his feelings, ना? कि ये यशोदा मैया तेरी मम्मी नहीं है, ऐसे सब बोलेगे तो it would hurt his feeling, right? So Balram would do this. He would tease Krishna. So this time Krishna told Yashoda Maya that don't think these people are in favor of me. In fact, they want you to beat me. That's why they have come to you and told you all this. Then Yashoda Maya caught, she says that, okay, we will see who is telling the truth, who is not. Open your mouth. And some dirt was left here and there. So Krishna knew it. And Krishna knew that she is going to beat me up for this. And Krishna opened his mouth just to distract Yashoda Maya. Some Shaktis of Krishna, they actually showcase the entire universe in the mouth of Krishna. He was a little child. Yashoda is seeing the 7 oceans and all the gigantic forests. Then she is seeing Vrindavan. Then in Vrindavan, she is seeing herself standing in front of her child. And her child is opening his mouth. Inside his mouth, she is seeing again the universe. See? In that universe, she is seeing Vrindavan. In that Vrindavan, she is seeing herself. Then she is looking into her child's mouth. His mouth has the universe inside his mouth. So she is seeing all this and she is bewildered like anything. At a point, Yashoda Maya thinks to herself, she prays to Narayana that, my dear Lord, I was thinking that I am the queen of Vrindavan. I had all this ahankar and all. See what my child is going through now. And because of this Aishwarya that is coming inside her, Krishna thought that, oh no, I must not let this happen. So he covers his Yogamaya, he shuts his mouth and he smiles, and Yashoda, when she sees her little child smiling, she forgets the entire incident. And she takes him and she gives him milk, and they are very happy and things go on. The point is that in Vrindavan, Krishna is very sweet. Krishna is not like that Supreme God and all those things. Krishna covers all those facts. Why? Because the love of the Brajavasis exceeds the love of any kind of devotees in this world. Brajavasis are the perfect devotees of Krishna because they have a spontaneous attraction towards Krishna. Their attraction towards Krishna does not depend on the fact whether Krishna is the Supreme Lord or not. In fact, they don't like to believe the fact that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. They don't know about the fact that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Right? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was explaining to Venkata Bhatta all these things. And he told that, see, the Brajavasis, they are the topmost devotees of Krishna. And that's why Krishna does not show his Aishwarya in Vrindavan. He is actually very sweet. This aspect of Krishna is only seen in Krishna. It is not seen in Narayana. And this is what makes Krishna more special to the devotees. And that is why Lakshmi Devi went to him. But Lakshmi Devi is a queen in Vaikuntha. And Krishna is a cowherd boy. And his girlfriends are cowherd girls. So Lakshmi Devi had to assume the form of a cowherd girl to become associated with Krishna. For that she has to leave Vaikuntha. But is Lakshmi Devi ready to leave Vaikuntha? The answer is no. That's why she was not allowed to enter the Rasa Mandali. This is the explanation which was given. Now Gopal Bhatta was listening this, Prabodhananda Saraswati is listening this, and everybody is so mesmerized. They actually surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and accepted Gaudiya Vaishnavism. This is how he preached to them. Now the 4 months of Chaturmasya, it was coming to an end and Mahaprabhu had to leave. This had actually put little Gopal into very distress. He was in distress, he was depressed because of this fact. And before that also, one day Gopal Bhatta was just imagining that I am so fallen and unfortunate that I am seeing Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi. But actually I wish I could see Mahaprabhu with his hair and who would accept all kinds of bhoga and all these things. Now as a sannyasi he is a renunciant. He is bound by many rules and regulations and all these things of sannyas. But Gopal Bhatta was imagining that if I was more fortunate, I could see in Navadvip how Mahaprabhu was before sannyas. That night when Gopal went to sleep, in his dream, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Right? So he was on the banks of Ganga where he saw Mahaprabhu as Nimai Pandit. His previous ashram name was Nimai Pandit. So he saw Mahaprabhu in nice long hair, curly locks of hair, the golden complexion, was smiling at him. And he saw Nityanand Prabhu also. All these people, they were performing Sankirtan there. And immediately Gopal woke up and he ran to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the dead of the night. Right? So he ran to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was sitting there. Once he opened the door and looked at Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu was standing in his threefold bending form as Krishna there. He saw Krishna face to face that night, and then Krishna transformed into Mahaprabhu of Navadvip before sannyas. Then he transformed again to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was there as a sannyasi in front of him. And Mahaprabhu blessed him that you will become a great devotee because you are my eternal associate. Right? So Gopal, he was saying that now Mahaprabhu, when you leave, I am also coming with you. Right? I am also taking to the renounced order of life. Then after that, I will help you assisting the mission of Sankirtan. And Mahaprabhu told him that no, your parents are actually Vaishnavas. They are high class devotees. You must not leave them. You serve them till the time they leave this planet for good, and then you go to Brindavan. And there will be two stalwart Vaishnavas. Their name is Rupa and Sanatan, and they will teach you everything, and you have to get ready for the mission of the Lord. Like that, and then Mahaprabhu left Sri Ranga. So this conversation had a lasting impact on Gopal. Gopal then took Diksha from his uncle Prabodhananda Saraswati, who has now become a disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he got initiated by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Then Prabodhananda Saraswati actually taught him all this Vedanta and Sanskrit and everything. He became a stalwart scholar. Even Gopala Bhatta was a stalwart scholar by then. After that, his parents passed away. Before passing away, his parents actually blessed Gopala that you go to Mahaprabhu and you assist in his mission. And then, after his parents passed away, he came to Brindavan. So once he comes to Brindavan, all the Goswamis were ready to welcome him, including Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, then there is Bhugarbha Goswami, Lokanath Goswami. All these Goswamis, they were there. They were actually, at that time, Brindavan was not a town like it is today. If anybody of you has gone to Brindavan, you see that it is like a town now. At that point, Vrindavan was a proper jungle. It was a forest. There were not many villagers also in Vrindavan. It was a very austere life that the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan led. Practically, they would actually sleep under different trees every night, because they didn't even want to get attached to the trees also, that this place is mine. ऐसा कोई जगह नहीं होना चाहिए. इसलिए they would sleep under different trees of Vrindavan. When it was very cold, they didn't have any opulent dresses and all these things, right? Sometimes they would sit inside the hollow of a tree and do bhajan and stay there only. Pura night they would be staying there. Sometimes they would stay in holes on the ground which were used by different animals and all. They would use that for themselves once the animal has abandoned it. For example, there is an incident when Jiva Goswami, when he was abandoned from Vrindavan, at Nandaghat there was an alligator hole. So it is a hole in the ground where an alligator used to live. And once the alligator has left that place, that hole is still there. So Jiva Goswami used that hole for staying. So this was the kind of life that they were having. No bhajan kutirs, nothing. So Gopala Bhatta Goswami reached there. And when he reached Vrindavan, some days later, Mahaprabhu, at that point, he was in Jagannath Puri. So Mahaprabhu was having lunch at Gadadhar Pandit's house, and they were having lunch. And at that point, Mahaprabhu was thinking that nobody has come with the news about Vrindavan since a long time. I have sent Roop Sanatan there, but nobody has come with the news. Right? Immediately one messenger comes and he says that there is a letter from Rupa Goswami from Vrindavan, and in that letter Rupa Goswami has written, oh, that wonderful boy that you have spoke about, Gopal Bhatta, he has already arrived in Vrindavan and we are taking care of him like a brother. So Mahaprabhu wrote back to them that you should consider him as your own brother and you should engage him in services. Right? And I hereby also say that Gopal Bhatta Goswami also should start initiating disciples in some time. So you take care of him like that. And he gave his two sets of kaupin he gave as a gift to, because he is a sannyasi, he has nothing more. So one outer cloth, 2 kaupins, and one peetha, it is like a wooden this thing on which they sit to do puja. Mahaprabhu had a peetha also where he used to sit and do puja. So that also he gave to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So the messenger went back to Vrindavan and gave it to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And after that, Gopal Bhatta Goswami started assisting Rupa Goswami in worshipping Govind Dev Ji for quite some time. Then, so imagine, Mahaprabhu is still there in this world. He is in Jagannath Puri, which is not very far away from Vrindavan. But still Gopal Bhatta Goswami could have gone to Jagannath Puri first and met Mahaprabhu and then came to Vrindavan, correct? It is the most logical thing that we can. But why didn't he do that? Because Mahaprabhu had told him that you have to go to Vrindavan. So a spiritual master, the association of spiritual master is on 2 levels. One is Vapu, bodily, and one is Vani, through his speech. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami had an opportunity to associate through Vapu, but he chose Vani over Vapu. So sometimes we also have this tendency that, oh, my Guru, I am not meeting my Guru daily. I am not getting the opportunity to assist him every day. He is not talking to me directly and all these things. But that is not very important. The most important thing is, are you following what instructions he has given you? That is more important. Correct? So Gopal Bhatta Goswami is staying in Vrindavan. So the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they were supposed to excavate holy places in Vrindavan, Leela Sthalis, then write literatures about bhakti and scrutinizingly study the scriptures and preach. This was the main intention, and build temples. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami was assisting the other Goswamis in this. And one day in his dream, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and he told him that you should get some nice Shaligram Shilas to worship. And you should worship those Shilas. So these Shaligram Shilas, they are very special Shilas, because usually if you want to do Archavigraha Aradhana, you have to do Prana Pratishta of the Supreme Lord in that, then you have to do Aradhana. Shaligram is considered to be already done with Prana Pratishta naturally. So a Shaligram is always ready to worship, and it is very potent also. To a matter of fact that there was a couple in South India, in Kerala, they were not having kids for 13-14 years after marriage. And they had consulted all sort of doctors for that. It is a very recent thing. So, and they were unable to do anything. They were not conceiving a child only. There is one brahmachari, a Prabhuji, a senior brahmachari from ISKCON Mira Road. Right? I'm not disclosing his name. He is there. He is a very senior brahmachari there. So he supposed to meet them somehow. And when he came to know that this is a problem that is happening, so he has a Shaligram with him, right? So he took the Shaligram, he placed it on their head and said that this is Sakshat Vishnu. You sincerely pray. And he kept the Shaligram with him and he went away. In 3 days, he got the news that they have conceived a child. This was 2-3 years back. This thing happened.
It's like that black stone which
Yeah.
is having that marks.
Yes.
Like
There are different kinds of marking, like different kinds of Shilas. One is called Damodar Shila, then there is Narasimha Shila. These are basically that one. So this Shaligram, this Shila, this is not found anywhere and everywhere. This is actually found only in Kaligandaki river in Nepal.
Nepal.
So
For
it
Ram
is,
Mandir, it is brought from there. No?
yeah.
The Shila.
So it is in Nepal now. So at that point, you imagine he had to walk all the way from Vrindavan till Nepal to get the Shilas. So he went to get the Shilas. He got 12 Shaligram Shilas, right? He got them to Vrindavan and he started worshipping them. He would take it to every place that he goes and he worshipped Shaligram. Now, one fine day, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, it was a Narsimha Chaturdashi day, on which one very great merchant, he came to Vrindavan and he gifted cloths and ornaments to all the Goswamis for their deities. So every Goswami had their own deities. Like Sanatan Goswami had Madan Mohan, and then Rupa Goswami had Govind Devji, Jiva Goswami had Damodar. So like that, every Goswami, they had their own deities. Raghunath Das Goswami had Radha Gopinath, like that. So every saint had their own deities whom they would worship. So, but Gopala Bhatta Goswami only had Shaligram, which he would worship. Correct? So one day this merchant came and to every Goswamis he donated some clothes and everything, jewels and all for their deities. And Gopala Bhatta Goswami also got his share. But now, what would he do with those cloths and all? Because it is a Shaligram. It's like a stone, no? It is a Shila. So how would he wear it around them and all this mark? How would he do it? How would he worship? So at this point, Gopala Bhatta Goswami was thinking that if only I had a deity of nice Krishna, Shyam Sundar, I would have, every day, dressed him up and, adorned him with all these jewels and all. But unfortunately, I only have Shilas. I don't have Krishna. And then he went to take bath in the Yamuna and he was thinking that it is a Narsimha Chaturdashi day, correct? So he went to Yamuna, he came back, he worshipped. And before going to sleep, he was thinking, if only I was Prahlad. If I was Prahlad, then the Supreme Lord would have appeared for me from the Shila also. Right? Because Prahlad Maharaj, when he told that in this pillar there is Krishna, there is the Supreme Lord, Narasimhadev came out of it. No?
Yes.
So similarly he was thinking, if only my devotion was as good as Prahlad, the Supreme Lord would have appeared from the Shilas. Alas, he went to sleep. The next day morning, before worshipping, he went to Yamuna, he came back, and when he opened the basket in which all the Shaligrams are kept, to the surprise of his life, he saw that out of the 12 Shaligrams, one Shaligram, that is the Damodar Shila, which was the main Shila, has converted itself into a deity of Krishna. And this deity was very beautiful, very magnificent, because it is Swayambhu, it has come on his own. So this deity of Krishna had his face like Govindji of Rupa Goswami. He had his chest like Gopinath. And his lotus feet was like Madan Mohan. Right? It was a very beautiful deity. So Gopala Bhatta Goswami immediately told all the Goswamis of Vrindavan that this miracle has happened to me. And all the Goswamis, they came to meet the new deity. And he came and they all came. So he was staying near Nidhivan at that point of time. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, every Goswamis came to see the deity, have darshan. And when they saw him, so they were thinking that what name should we give to the deity. So Rupa Goswami told that because this deity has appeared near Nidhivan. Nidhivan is where Krishna gives enjoyment to Srimati Radharani. So this deity must be called Radharaman. Like that. So this is the story of the famous Radharaman. Even you go today to Brindavan, you can see Radharaman. So it is that same deity. It is said that, Radharaman, if you see, Radharaman does not have markings on his body. Because he is not carved, no? He has come out of the Shila. So you will never see any marks on his body which shows that, he is carved. It's a very small deity, only this much. He's very cute. He's the prince of Vrindavan. It is said that he is the heartbeat of Vrindavan, Radharaman. So Radharaman appeared and he was the very life and soul of Gopala Bhatta Goswami. He would worship Radharaman every single day. And the worship standards of Radharaman is considered to be the topmost in Vrindavan, in fact in the world. Right? So in fact, when ISKCON was in the developing phase, Srila Prabhupada told his disciples to go and stay in Radharaman to see what is the standard of deity worship in Radharaman. Right? So in fact, there are many miraculous things that happen in Radharaman even today. Like the fire that they use for cooking for Radharaman, it is actually not an ordinary fire. It is a fire which was invoked through Vedic mantras by Gopala Bhatta Goswami. It is not a material fire. It was invoked through Vedic mantras. And still they have preserved that fire. Only that fire they use for cooking for Radharaman. They don't cook elsewhere. Then they have their own rules. So even today, if you see Radharaman, I will show you photographs once the session is over. Radharaman is very mysterious even today. Sometimes, he actually chooses his dress also. Which dress he wants to wear, which dress he don't want to wear and all these things. See, for the deity, the measurement should remain the same. But if you take many, you make clothes for Radharaman and you go, if he does not like the cloth, no, he will not wear it. The ornaments, if you offer him an ornament and you try to make him wear it, he will change his size, because of which it won't fit. Till today is like that. He will either become small, he will become big, but he will not allow. Like it won't be visible to your eyes, but you will understand. He is not wearing. Sometimes, one day I was asking, one day I saw a photograph of Radharaman in which he is wearing all atrangi, red color ka turban, then green color ka dhoti, then yellow color ka ye, aisa he is wearing. I was thinking that who has dressed him up like this? So there is one Prabhuji, he is a friend of mine, he was telling that actually this day, he was in this mood only. So he was not allowing any other. So he selected that I will wear like this only. So many hours they tried, and after that this is what that came up. Like that. So he only does things according to his wish. In fact, I will show you photographs of this. I have proof. Sometimes he shows his teeth and smile, the deity, and sometimes he doesn't. So it is said that when the devotees who are very dear to him, they come, he will show his teeth and smile, the deity. And sometimes he will hide his teeth and smile. Like that. So when he is very happy and when in a good mood, he will, smile with his full teeth. Sometimes only some teeth he will reveal. Sometimes he will smile without showing his teeth. Like that. Radharaman. Still he is like that. So Gopala Bhatta Goswami and Radharaman, they had a very sweet relationship. He would worship him like anything. It is said that Bhugarbha Goswami was one of his very dear friends. He would come and sit and just witness how Gopala Bhatta Goswami served Radharaman. So the way he did puja and everything was very mesmerizing. Then after that, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, after a point of time, he had some disciples. So there was a Brahmana, he was preaching around somewhere and he saw a Brahmana who was not begetting children. So he blessed them, the couple, that you will beget a child. He got a son and that son he offered to Gopala Bhatta Goswami only. You keep him for your services. And that son, from that day onwards, though they are the pujaris of Radharaman temple till today, the Goswami family of Radharaman temple. In fact, one Goswami you all must have seen also. His name is Pundrik Goswami. He is quite famous on social media and all. So he is from that family. So that family only still does puja of Radharaman. it's a very nice temple. You all must visit Radharaman. Then after that, Gopala Bhatta Goswami accepted a very stalwart disciple. His name, he was trained by Jiva Goswami, but Diksha was given by Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who spread the Krishna consciousness movement ahead. Right? So Gopala Bhatta Goswami had many literary contributions also. Like the Shat Sandarbhas, about which we had discussed when we were speaking about Jiva Goswami in a session. So that was in Jiva Goswami writes that it was actually some diary markings of Gopala Bhatta Goswami, which I have developed further like that. So he was a very stalwart scholar, but at the same time, he was a very humble devotee, because of which when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was about to write Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Gopala Bhatta Goswami. He went to all the Goswamis, went to Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Gopala Bhatta Goswami blessed him, but it asked him not to write his own name or about him in the book, because he is very humble. So Vaishnavas by nature, they are very humble. So he never revealed all those things. So these are the very minimal information that we have about Gopala Bhatta Goswami. He is a great devotee, stalwart. So on this auspicious day, we pray at his lotus feet that may he bless us with love for his Radharaman. Right? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yes.